Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. There is a group in London. It's a rather clandestine group. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows their identities, which is, of course, exactly how they want it. They go by the name of Blade Runners. They are criminals. They are vandals. They are thieves. And they are the destroyers of other people's property. And this channel wholeheartedly endorses them and thanks them for their service. They are representative of the people, and we'll see what exactly they are stealing, damaging and destroying. And it is a good thing. Here goes. So, rise of the ULEZ Blade Runners, ULEZ being the ultra low emission zone. It's that thing in London where if you own anything more toxic than, say, a skateboard or a bike, you are going to pay £12.50 for the privilege of using your vehicle in this massively extended zone now. It was just central London. It's being extended out to Greater London. If the mayor has his way, it would be across the entire bloody country. But thankfully, he doesn't have his way. So the rise of the ULEZ Blade Runners, the underground activists who vowed to stop at nothing until they've taken down every single one of Sadiq Khan's low-emission cameras. Secretive army, it vandalises and steals the Euless Cameras, and the Mail Online spoke to an elusive balaclava-clad Blade Runner taking on the ULEZ system. And they are doing a great thing. Nobody in London wants this. Nobody voted for it. Nobody wants to pay £12.50 a day just to go about their business. People who need the car for medical reasons or for transporting children, that sort of thing. £12.50 a day per car. It is a massive scheme. It's not going to do any good for the environment. It is all to do with filling up the coffers of the London authorities, because Khan has basically overspent massively and he can't account for all the money, and he needs more because he is a moron. A secret activist army is vandalising and stealing Sadiq Khan's hated ULEZ cameras. Dubbed Blade Runners, the covert group has been attacking ANPR cameras that catch out drivers using high polluting vehicles across the country, across the capital. The Mayor's controversial scheme will force Londoners to pay £12.50 a day to drive in Greater London from August the 29th if their cars don't meet certain environmental standards. One of the secretive Blade Runners who met with the Mail Online said, "We are going to take every single one down, no matter what." This is it, because this scheme is damaging. It's damaging to people who live in London. It's expensive. It's costing people. £12.50 a day. If you go to work and you need that, nearly £100 a week just to drive your car. And that's on top of all the other stuff, your tax, your MOTs, your petrol, your tyres, everything else that costs an extra £100 a week. £5,000 a year just to drive a car. It is ridiculous. It is wrong. And the people have had enough. And this is democracy in action. The people have said no, and the people are doing something about it. And there's one of the Blade Runners standing with his recent haul. Good luck to him. Good luck to them all. Anyway, this is the Blade Runner, he told Mail Online, in terms of damage, it's way more than what Khan and TfL have stated. It's at least a couple of hundred. He said snipping, damaging with hammers, painting, disabling on a circuit level, and removing. They are unbolted and they are snipped. He said, "We don't want this. It's a way to try to restrict our movements." Yeah, I mean, they did this push as well for the 15-minute cities, or as we really should call them, the correct name, the concentration camps that they're trying to build. And they're saying, basically, these ULEZ cameras are going in now, ostensibly, it's for the environment. No, it's not. It's so they can know and monitor your movements and then tell you, actually, you can't go here, you can only travel here, blah, blah, blah. And it's that. It is restriction of movements. And why should you, as a private citizen, be monitored? Why should you be told where you can and can't go? And why should you have to pay for the privilege? So they're doing a good job. Sadiq Khan has claimed the police take vandalism of ULEZ cameras very seriously. Well, they can't take it that seriously because they can't solve real crimes. So let's see them deal with hundreds of ULEZ cameras being taken down every day. They haven't got the manpower. Transport for London said vandalism was unacceptable and all incidents are reported to the police for investigation. Actually, in this case, I think vandalism is completely acceptable. People don't want it. People can do something about it. People are doing something about it. And the trouble is that those in authority don't like it. Well, tough. We are many. They are few. It is our will that will win. And it's as simple as that. However, when approached by Mail Online, the Met Police said there was no trace they had ever investigated ULEZ cameras being damaged or stolen. So the Mayor and the Mayor's office are lying, but you don't expect anything less from Sadiq Khan. The force said it had never heard of it happening before. The Met Police spokesman added, obviously there's potential for the potential offences to be investigated, as for instance criminal damage or theft. That means if the Met ever did investigate one of the incidents and a Blade Runner was found guilty of criminal damage, they could land themselves in jail for up to 4 years. That will never happen for a £2,000 camera. Yet the Blade Runner, speaking to Mail Online, said although he could face prosecution, the cause was worth fighting for. London Mayor Sadiq Khan's ULEZ scheme has been splitting communities in two and costing struggling families thousands of pounds, £5,000 a year, in fact. Hard-up Londoners have told the Mail Online they've already had to shell out huge sums to buy new cars that comply with the money-spinning ultra-low emission zone, and they fear they are being priced out of the capital. In some areas of the city, the ULEZ will force parents who can't afford to buy new cars to pay £12.50 charge to drive their children to school, while pensioners fear being left stranded and unable to see their GP located within the penalty zones. Neighbours living just yards apart on opposite sides of the clean air zone face starkly different fates, with some saying they will be slapped with the charge for simply leaving their homes, while those living a stone's throw away are unaffected. The revelation comes ahead of Mr Khan expanding the clean air zone to Greater London this year, encompassing 5 million more people, in a move that will create a headache for at least 200,000 who own non-compliant vehicles. This is the plan. It's got nothing to do with the environment and everything to do with money and control. They're just using the environment argument as an excuse. So, sod them. Sod them all. I hope these guys take every single one of them down. The Blade Runner told Mail Online, everything we're doing is for our own freedoms. It's the tip of the iceberg. We no longer live in a democracy. We will fight with everything we have for our freedoms. The Mayor's office says there were 43 instances of vandalism or theft to ULEZ cameras as of March the 21st, 2023. It said because of commercial and confidentiality reasons, TfL would not share how much each camera costs or how much repairs would be. And the fact that they won't say how much the cameras are or how much the repairs are means that somebody is making a lot of money through a backhand deal. They're putting up £1,500 worth of cameras and probably charging £5,000 a camera, but the money's being split with whoever signed the contract. Guarantee it. That's the only reason they won't say how much the cameras cost. It's because they know that the cameras are being massively overcharged. Small businesses have slammed the ULEZ expansion, and even charities have said they might be forced off the roads because of it. It is the latest traffic plan to plague the capital after years of low traffic neighbourhoods and the onslaught of hardly used cycle lanes, and they've laid siege to motorists. The Labour Mayor has even forced Londoners to dice with death by creating cycle highways and floating bus stops. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. He creates these things because it's a good little soundbite, but he damages everyone's lives every time he opens his tiny dwarf-like mouth, because he's only about that tall. Little man syndrome, Earlier this month, Mail Online revealed that selfish bikers had been caught on the camera repeatedly ignoring pedestrians at one of London's many dangerous floating bus stops, which forced passengers to take a leap of faith through a cycle highway. Footage shows riders of bicycles, e-bikes and e-scooters refusing to stop as pedestrians try to board and alight buses, which are separated from the stop by a cycle lane, and campaigners have hit out at their reckless behaviour. You see it all the time, these cyclists. And then there's the picture of these cameras, and they're all starting to see there's one with the wire clipped and things like that. People have had enough. The Blade Runner speaks to Mail Online, said there was more like 100 Blade Runners in his group, and the number was increasing, with people covering different areas around London. He said they mainly targeted the ULEZ expansion area, but also attacked the existing system too. He said when he removed one of the ULEZ cameras, he says he gets a feeling of purpose. He added, there are 24 hours a day, we either fight it or accept it. We do whatever we can. What we achieve by our actions is the removal of the infrastructure and waking up the sleeping masses as to what is really going on. TfL has been spending between 60 and 75 million pounds on ULEZ cameras and signs, and the budget for the controversial expansion is between 130 and 140 million pounds. And if you can if you can force them to go massively over budget but keep stealing and damaging these cameras, all the better. They may eventually learn that it isn't going to happen and they have to give up. A spokesman for the Mayor of London said it is deeply disappointing to see opposition to a policy being used as an excuse for criminal damage. Perhaps you should look at the policy. Perhaps you should realise how damaging the policy is and ask yourself why people object to it, and then do something about it. He says it's petty vandalism of London's essential transport infrastructure. No. What is here is the vandalism of people's rights and freedoms. And until you can come with that, then there is no argument to be had. And I hope these guys continue to take down these cameras, these means of surveillance, these means of control. And well done to them. I shall come up. We must fight for our freedom every single day. Cameras that monitor us, tags that go, GPS in your phones. Why are these all being monitored? Why do the government want to know where you are and where you go? It is very, very shady indeed. We are free people. We are not numbers. We are not entries in a database. And yet the government wants to treat us exactly like that. And so to remove these cameras, to not have our movements monitored, is a step towards freedom. So I congratulate these guys. I say all power to their elbow. May they be successful in their quest, and may they take out every single camera. And I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you've seen here on the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Definitely leave a like. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't be monitored on cameras, and goodbye.